Module 4, Speaking with Your Art. The purpose of this module is to encourage the practical application of what you've learned from the previous modules. You will discover ways to speak with your art and continue to be inspired by other artists, including yourself. Coincidences. As I write this module, I have decided to play with butterflies. Recently, I saw some work with Stitchbury. These large butterfly installations are made from a group of individual cut and hand-painted butterflies. Coincidentally, or what I call coincidentally, my partner has New Zealand's largest collection of exotic butterflies and is a world-acclaimed expert. I have written a love story, as Molly Matthews, which is my pen name, called Flight of Passion, inspired by butterflies and the migration of monarch butterflies to Mexico. I'll place some links to this book at the end of this module if you are intrigued. Or visit my website, mollymatthews.com. Creating butterfly art seems such an obvious creative expression of my passions that I can't believe it's something I overlooked. On Anna's website, she helps me take the guesswork out of how to create them, telling me each butterfly is cut from 100% 650 GSM high-quality, acid-free art card. They are then painted and or gold-leaved and then varnished. So that's perfect. I don't have to spend too much time working out how I'm going to create them. Just now, a beautiful monarch flew into my studio and then fluttered to the garden. How is that for flow? A definite sign from spirit. Share your voice. Who and what inspires you? Where and how can you share your voice and speak with your art? Who can you collaborate with to share your voice? Find and follow your tribe. For me, in my creative pursuits, along with butterflies, I am inspired by visionary art, healing, energy, transcendence, beauty, and in terms of making a living as an artist, financial success, which is why, in part, I am drawn to Jessica Zoob and others that I've mentioned throughout this course who are making a living and a life with their art. Regarding financial success, it's important not to sell out by trading your passion and authenticity for mediocrity. It is said that highly esteemed artists such as Van Gogh and Gogh sold very little during their lifetimes. Even Leonardo da Vinci was often strapped for cash, promoting himself as an engineer and military tactician to balance the books. The main thing is to take chances, shoot for your dreams, and give yourself a chance to succeed. If you try, you'll never leave this life with regrets. Consider taking a class, gain ideas from people on social media, troll through their websites to spark inspiration. Steal like an artist. Also the title of an excellent book by Austin Kleon. Play with other artists' styles and inspirations, but make it your own. Gauguin's influences are revealed through the art he purchased, including works by Manet, Monet, Sicily, Pissarro and Renoir. Gauguin's work was also intrinsically influenced by the many close creative relationships he developed with fellow artists. Leonardo da Vinci received no formal education beyond basic reading, writing and math, but his father appreciated his artistic talent and apprenticed him at around age 15 to the esteemed sculptor and painter Andrea del Verrocchio of Florence. Verrocchio was one of his earliest influences, but he soon outgrew him and pursued a style of his own. Leonardo is credited with developing the beautiful sfumato technique, which translated literally from Italian means vanished or evaporated. Creating imperceptible transitions between light and shade and sometimes between colours, he blended everything without borders in the manner of smoke. His brushstrokes so subtle as to be invisible to the naked eye, but even then he was influenced by others. According to the art historian Giorgio Vasari, the technique was first invented by the primitive Flemish school, including perhaps Jan van Eyck and Roger van der Weyden. Leonardo explored this technique and took it further. He was interested in how to make a person's portrait seem as though they were very much alive. Is there something you haven't explored? A style, a medium, something else? I recently was drawn to the work of Danish artist Sophie Clerk, who specialises in paper collage. Perhaps this is something you may enjoy to do. Sophie was interviewed along with other artists in Thalia magazine. Take a look, the link. My new foray also led me to the work of Amanda Diggin. Amanda works in collage and adds fragments of her paintings to her work. This appeals to me. Amanda has also created a Facebook group called Wabi Sabi Moments and comments on the inspiration to begin this group as follows. 2020 has been a difficult year for many, and as such, I wanted to start a group that can simply share a love of beauty within the everyday, looking for the small things that are perhaps imperfect, impermanent, or transient, yet beautiful. In a world where society seems hung up on perfection, Wabi Sabi is a breath of fresh air. It is a concept or an aesthetic that focuses on finding beauty within the imperfections of life and accepting the cycle of growth and decay. It's a different way of seeing the world. You may like to join her tribe for inspiration. Who are your influences? How do they influence you? Show me. Go on, show me. Create a body of work to share before the next module. Influence yourself. Create an inspiration board of your own work. This may seem conceited, but you need to be a cheerleader for your artistic voice. Let her know you are proud of her. Show her she is worth cheering. What better way to tell your creative muse that you value her and your special way of looking at the world than to pin your creations to the wall as inspiration. I have an inspiration board pinned up in my studio that features paintings, drawings, flowers, mandalas and patterns that I've created. I also read about this technique on the website clothpaperscissors.com, where the author shared the following. When I paint, I often recombine these elements in new ways, and this helps to keep my work consistent. It also reminds me that my inner vision is worthy. When starting out on a creative journey, we are tempted to copy well-known styles and artists, and we are quick to create walls of inspiration from their work. Creating an inspiration board in honour of you is a great way to validate and even celebrate your authentic voice. You're worth it. Take this idea further and create something to share on social media or just for yourself. Canva.com is a great tool for this. Whether you use Canva or create a blog or web page or wall at home, creating an inspiration board of your own work is a lovely way to remind yourself of all the wonderful creations you have made over the years and to affirm visually, I inspire myself. Create a big series of small works. So often we're tempted to express ourselves with a bold, ambitious statement of worth. When I first decided to become an artist, I brought a huge 1.5 metre times 1.2 metre canvas and started painting. It was fun, but this wasn't how I found my creative voice. The real discovery came from a commitment I made to create tiny paintings to express my feelings every day. After a year, I could see my unique colour choices, brush marks and storylines emerging from my tiny pieces. A great way to supplement this daily creating is to share it on social media as part of a 30-day or 100-day challenge or through an online class. The commitment to share your work will inspire you to keep going and push through doubt, procrastination and painter's block. Plus, the more we practice our craft, the more we will be able to work intuitively and improvise in ways that show our originality and authenticity. Your voice is the holy grail. Remember, you can't copy other artists' voices, only learn and be inspired by them. As Lisa Congdon shared in the previous module, no matter your medium or genre, having your voice is the holy grail. Your artistic voice is what differentiates you from other artists. Steal like an artist, by all means. Be inspired by your fellow artists, but resist the urge to mimic. Unless, of course, as artists have done for centuries, you're practicing new skills that will later morph into your own unique and beautiful style. Do a Leonardo. Again, to revisit Module 3, if you haven't found your voice yet, make work go off on tangents and stop thinking about it. That's where the magic happens in your artistic process. Embrace the tangents. Eventually you will discover your voice. Don't be afraid of failure or the stuff that doesn't work, because it leads you to something else, something better. Affirm that any setbacks are part of the creative process. Just play. I was doing a Leonardo when I began playing with a new medium in 2020, beeswax. Inspired by a colour-filled painting by Helen Frankenthaler, I created my piece, The Awakening Dawn, using this new technique and medium. The scale of my work was significantly smaller. Helen's painting was over 2 meters tall. Mine was less than 40 centimeters. The mediums were different, the colours, everything, but the inspiration she provided lit a spark others enjoyed. The painting quickly sold. The awakening dawn was also inspired by nature and also the following words from a mystic. You are indeed the colours of the awakening dawn, the movement of the branches in the brush, the drops of dew upon the windowsill, and the morning bird's sweet and mellow song of joy. Ramtha. The awakening dawn was 400mm times 400mm on caustic, oil crayon, pastel and mixed media on board. Apply what you've learned so far and do the work. Be inspired by others and yourself. Commit to sharing your voice, your heart, your story with others. Be authentic, be yourself, and most important of all, make it personal. Summary. Inspiration is everywhere. Take a chance on something new. You may just discover a vein of gold of which you never knew. Experiment, shoot for the stars, and give yourself a chance to succeed. If you don't try, you'll never know if a new sweet spot is waiting for you. Take the insights you've learned from this module further and create in the style of 5 artists you love. Consider changing the medium, the scale, or introduce elements of their work that you love. Consider applying the same practical application to artists you don't connect with as much. Look for something beautiful embedded within their works. This may be a slither of colour, a texture, a word, a fibre, anything. Explore their style, their medium in a way that is playful for you and incorporate it into your own body of work, or take your cue from nature. Take this lesson deeper. Consider purchasing the audio ebook or print version of Austin Kleon's Steal Like an Artist. Watch Brian Ruttenberg's wonderful studio visits on YouTube. Ensure you have sacred silence and a block of time to be alone. Fight for your dreams. Do what it takes to show your muse that you value her, even if it means disappointing others. Master the art of prioritizing your creative time. Find your tribe and show your work. Take a class just for fun and try something new. The main thing, as always, is to play.